The sessions that I watched were very similar to what I imagined a counseling session to look like. Basically, the counselor and the client sitting together, talking through different scenarios and trying to come up with solutions for things. I go to therapy regularly myself, and so it's a process that I'm pretty familiar with sitting in on the client side. But it'll be interesting to see what it's like as the professional side. So as I was going through and watching those different ones and then reading through our chapters, I think that the second counselor, Michael, would probably be a better fit for me, just because I could tell that he was listening to his client. He was focused in on what she was saying. He was reflecting, but then he was also bringing it back to her goal and her purpose for being in therapy each time, bringing up the goals that she wanted to accomplish. So he was able to reflect back what she was thinking and feeling, but then also helped her make a plan. And I found myself when I was watching the first interview with Wayne Powell, I was getting more and more frustrated. I think he was showing a lot of empathy, and he was showing that he was able to reflect back the things that she was saying, but it didn't really feel like it was going anywhere. It just seemed like he was saying the same things over and over, and that he was trying to help her make some realizations on her own, but didn't seem to give her much direction. So I think if I was the client in that situation, and we had been talking about it the previous week, we didn't really get very far, and then he told me to do the same thing again for the following week, I probably would have been pretty frustrated. The other thing that I was going to say, I do think that both counselors had a lot of skill in showing empathy, that solar posture where just the way that they're sitting, the way that they're making eye contact, making the client feel comfortable. Those were all things that I think both counselors did very, very well. I think if I had any questions to ask, and maybe I just needed more information, I would ask Wayne Powell just what he was thinking, what his goals were, kind of like what the time frame was for how long he'd been seeing that client. Just does he have a timeline for more purposeful, smaller goals along the way so that she can reach the overall goal of not feeling as overwhelmed by work? I did appreciate Michael Takis a little bit more. I could tell that he at least seemed to be using the Ivy model. And that is something that I would like to do as well, just building rapport, knowing the client's story, being able to be mutually making a goal together with the client, and then bringing it back to the reality of what he was seeing with his client. So overall, I think it was really interesting and great to read and listen to both of those. So I appreciate learning more and more as this session goes on.